Hello everybody, it's story time because I've had something crappy happen. Woo. Recently Audrey and I went with her family to Cabo, San Lucas on a Mexico graduation travel trip. And in that trip, gosh, I'm so bad at storytelling. So on that trip, I started having issues swallowing, and by the end of the trip, I felt like I hadn't even eaten any of the food on that trip, but I realized that I probably ate more food than I gave myself credit for, but it got progressively worse until at the end of the trip, I skipped dinner on the last night entirely. We went to the Instacare clinic and they just told me schedule an x-ray with the radiology people, maybe an endoscopy, which is where they shove a camera down your throat, so I was like, okay, cool, whatever. We went home. I tried eating yogurt, and that was actually kind of difficult. And then the next morning, I tried eating yogurt again, and it was still difficult. So I was like, I don't know if I can wait that long. So we actually ended up going to the ER, which sucked. But at the ER, I got my x-ray done. They told me that there was nothing wrong with my swallow function, but that the food was taking about 10 seconds to get from the bottom of my esophagus into the stomach, which was kind of concerning. So then they sent me home, prescribed me this thing called pantoprazole, which is this medication supposed to decrease acid reflux, which I guess can be a common cause of esophagus constricting stuff. So yeah, and when they sent me home, they put me on a liquid diet until I could get an appointment for an endoscopy scheduled. And that's why I'm telling this story time, because my endoscopy is tomorrow. Yeah, they put me on a liquid diet, so I've literally been living off of these for the last week, and it's sucked so much. I hate this. I have another fun story time within all this because I had a nightmare of a time trying to schedule my endoscopy appointment in the first place. So when I got discharged from the ER, what they told me was that I was going to be called by the group that would be doing my endoscopy. So they told me that they would call me by the next day, and then if I hadn't heard back from them by that time, then I should call them. And I never got called, so the next day I called them and they checked and said that they didn't have an order from the doctor because I needed the doctor's order to get my endoscopy done. I called the ER again and they said, well, the order should have been sent, so just wait till tomorrow and try again. So then I waited till tomorrow, and then I called them again and they said they still didn't have my order. Then from that point, I called the ER back and was like, hey, they still don't have my order. So they sent me, they said the ER would call the clinic, but I think they misunderstood how this whole thing was. I don't think I was specific enough, because they sent me to the schedulers that was at the ER, not at the other clinic, and that's who they had ended up talking to, and the scheduler was like, oh, we don't do endoscopies, because they thought they were trying to schedule me for my x-ray that I had already had done in the ER. So I called my parents and had a little mini freak out because I had no idea what to do. But then while I was on the phone with my parents, the endoscopy people finally called me. They finally got the doctor's order in, but I finally got it scheduled, and then when I went to go get it scheduled, they asked me if I could do the endoscopy the following Friday, a week from when they called. And I asked them if they had any sooner times, and they got back to me and said that they actually did and were able to get me in on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. So that was a whole long spiel. I don't even know if that made any sense. I tried to relay it as best I could. Audrey, did that make sense?
Makes sense to me.
Well, you were there. I'm having my endoscopy tomorrow, and I guess I should specify an endoscopy and a dilation, which they stick a balloon down your throat and inflate it to expand your esophagus. Yep, I'm going in at in the morning, so next time you see me for this whole fiasco thing, it'll probably be tomorrow evening, because I'm gonna be sedated for the endoscopy. Of course, they're sticking something down my throat. So who knows how long it'll take me to kind of wake up after the sedation. Audrey will have to drive me home because I won't be able to drive, of course. So I'll give y'all an update after I've had my endoscopy. Audrey's gonna take some clips of what the endoscopy looks like and what the dilation looks like, because she's gonna be allowed to be in there as long as she wears a mask, which isn't an issue. So I guess I will see you guys tomorrow after I've had my endoscopy, and fingers crossed they find something, and I'm really hoping the dilation fixes my issue.
All right, it's all done. How you feeling?
So out of it.
He just woke up. The doctor came and talked to us.
I can, like, there literally is a part of my brain that can tell I'm sedated. But I can't, like, just magically come to full consciousness. So I guess I just get to live in this high feeling world for a little bit. I can't stop laughing, and I don't know why.
Yeah, you're funny.
Have I said what I think I've been saying, or if I've just been saying gibberish?
What do you think you've been saying?
Like, what I've been saying? Like, I feel like I have a good grasp on what the doctor's trying to tell me.
Yes.
Like, the doctor told me that everything looked fine, that I don't have any ulcers or strictures that they could see.
Yeah, which is good. That is a good thing. I might tell you all this later so that you can actually remember it, because I don't know if you're going to remember.
I feel like I did a good job of remembering, like, my wisdom teething. It was a feeling exactly like this. Like, I felt like I was in it, but, like, not there, like, at all.
Do you remember waking up and seeing me?
Right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I thought, like, the sensation when you were rubbing my arm, I thought it was like some sort of air tube blowing on my shoulder. Like, I thought they were still trying to get me to sleep. I didn't think I was ever asleep.
Yeah, you said you thought you were just barely falling asleep.
Yeah, I thought I was still falling asleep, but then I woke up and I didn't have my mouth guard anymore.
Oh, you had a mouth guard in? Oh.
I put a mouth guard to protect my teeth.
Oh.
My pearly whites.
You're so funny.
Not so white, pearly whites.
Oh my gosh, you're funny.
What's up, guys? I'm so smiley for once. If you can't tell, I am still super out of it. It's great, but I feel like I have enough consciousness that I can kind of function. But I just got back from my endoscopy. I have my IV thing. I don't want to show too much of it because it's a little bloody, and I know people don't do well with that. But Audrey actually wasn't able to come into the operating room with me. They just had her come in after I was waking up. Dude, I look hammered.
Okay, we're gonna show some photos of Spencer's throat. So this is just a warning if anyone gets queasy. This is just what your inside of your throat looks like.
And they told me nothing was wrong, so this is probably what a healthy esophagus looks like.
The doctor said that his throat is perfectly healthy. It's fully dilated. It's not like constricted in any way.
Yeah, they said potentially I could have like some sort of infection. No, it came back from Mexico. Those are gross, man. I had no idea the esophagus was like so ridgy.
I just think that everyone's insides probably don't look pretty. You know, like all organs don't look pretty.
Probably not.
Well, okay, so I want to tell you what happened when you woke up. So you were like out for like probably 5 minutes when I was in there.
Yeah.
And then you started like blinking your eyes, and then you looked at me, and I think you were like a little shocked at first, and then you're like, oh yeah. And you're like, you started laughing like, hi.
I know, like, when I woke up, like, I couldn't control, like, I just was laughing. I know.
He was laughing. You said, hi, and you kept saying, I'm so high. I feel so high. And then you're like, my beautiful, and it was so cute.
I said my beautiful?
Yeah, you did.
I don't remember that, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna go lay down before I don't know.
He's gonna call
before
his
I tip
family.
over. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go FaceTime my mom and dad. It'll be great.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is Spencer's slowly gonna start eating
I'm
normal
gonna start
food.
with mashed potatoes, and if I can do that, Audrey's going to get me chicken nuggets, because that's what I've been craving. Nice, I feel high. I mean, I've never been like high on drugs, but if I had to imagine what it feels like, I'd imagine it's something like this.
It's just so funny because Spencer's reaction to waking up from anesthesia is very different from mine.
Mom, where are you, dude? New FaceTime, Dad. FaceTime. Hi.
Hi.
I'm warning you right now, I'm still loopy. I just finished. I just got home.
Okay.
And I actually was conscious enough to comprehend what the doctors were saying.
Are you saying you remember?
More or less.
All right. This is Spencer's first meal since his endoscopy. I made him some mashed potatoes. No gravy yet because we're testing the waters to see if it's even doable. Do you feel better?
I hope so, but I also feel nervous and
You're probably just anxious because you haven't been able to eat for
yeah.
a week.
I just gotta take it slow. I mean, my first little bite went down okay.
Yeah, you were saying your throat felt a lot better after it. Maybe the balloon helped.
It is feeling better.
It's feeling better?
I think so.
Spencer passed the mashed potato test, and so
Yay.
we went and got his food of choice for dinner, which is McDonald's chicken nuggets. So that's what we're eating tonight. We're feasting.
I really hope I can actually eat this.
Yeah, let's see.
I'm like scared. The fries were a little difficult. I'm gonna have to take like baby bites.
That's crunchy. Your first crunch. Does it taste good? Better than a shake? So many more flavors now you get to re-experience. Yay! I'm so happy you're feeling better than you were this whole week because it was so sad, like making dinner all by myself and I don't know. Yay! Endoscopy's all done. Pound it.
Hello. Well, it's actually been a few days since my endoscopy, and there's gonna have to be a part 2 of this video because the saga continues. Because the endoscopy did not find anything and it did not make me feel any better. Like I still can't eat food and it's still difficult to swallow solid things. So yeah, that's great, but not really. The next step in the procedure is probably to have this thing done where I'm gonna have to have a catheter put down my nose into my throat that'll have to stay there for 24 hours to collect data about like my muscle functions of the actual swallowing. And if that doesn't find anything, then I'm so lost. I'm so done with this. I just want to be able to eat food normally, but yeah. Alright, but that's gonna be it for part 1 because that's all I got for right now. We'll make a part 2 when I have an update or something changes. And yeah, if you guys liked the video, give it a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you later. Bye.